and we're off, Dogbert. So,
We are indeed.
Mr. Dogbert will be joining us, and we shall switch to the game cab. As you can imagine, this is a good thing. So, as you can see, we have Bambi, Phantom, Deathmaster 4000, yeah, I know who that is, Hadoukens, and Revo, and on 3D Max we have Patol, and you have EOU, we just call him EO, or EDOU, Hadrian, Rom, and Hysterias. So, as we look at the actual tabletop at the moment, it's looking like 3D Max actually have the advantage over Exertus EU at the moment. Now, you can see obviously they have got the A and the B hold, which is the kind of thing that myself and Dogbert have discussed previously. And you can see the likes of Hadoukens looking like he's trying to defend that A point at the moment. So you can see he's working together with the Deathmaster, who has just lived up to his name and got shot. So now you can see, oh, there we go, he looks like he's going to have to back off. Hadoukens really badly damaged as he's coming into a bit of fire coming in there. As you can see, the impact grenades, but Hadouken gets taken down, 2 men on that A point, and now they're looking at getting the A and the C point at the moment. So you can see here from the tabletop, it looks like 3D Max now going for a total domination cap onto them. And it looks like they're actually going to get it because of the spawn for Exertus with Phantom out there. It looks like they've just stopped it in time, but it may not be enough. What's your thoughts thus far, Dogbert?
Well, first of all, Exertus straight away off to a not a great start. It looks like 3D Max have really sussed out this map, especially if you just looked on that last spawn there. They forced them out near the buses, which out on the far right. And that was pretty much down to where they were spread out on the map. It forced the spawn as far away from everyone as possible, and more importantly, far away from any of the valuable flags. The valuable flags being the B and A, as the holds from B and A, which, if you bring up your tabletop right now, Chadman, you'll see a line which is going straight down the middle of a map, starting at Rom all the way down to Hadrian, and that is literally blocking in Exertus right now, and it's really difficult to get out of this block, and this is something we've seen a lot at DreamHack and is a staple of this map, but the blockade is so difficult to break on this map.
Yeah, very much so. And obviously you've got 3D Max Rom, who's doing the floating between the points, enabling him to obviously spray fire, death and destruction onto the enemy pretty much at any point. So he can move over to C, he can move towards A, and he's got visibility of B pretty well as well. So this tends to be, I find, an actual key placement, usually where they put one of their best players, somebody who can frag, but also somebody who's got good tactical awareness. Now, obviously, you can see he's just taken down Revo at C. That means then that there's going to be a problem relating to C, but it also means that people can then use Rom as a spawn point to jump off of and move towards C very quickly. But now you can see Exertus starting to push in. So we're watching through the eyes of Phantom as he's making a slow push in towards A. Bambi runs ahead of him, and there we go, drills Hadrian with the M4. Now, Exertus Phantom, one of the few people actually you'll see using the M4, the burst fire. He really does enjoy that gun and has proven himself to be very effective with it. So he's trying to, but unfortunately he got shot in the face. You can't stop bullets with a gun. And now you can see Deathmaster through 4000 being taken down as they're moving in towards the B point. And it looks like at the moment Exertus are losing the one-on-one gunfights, Dogbert.
Yeah, and what's happening is, even though Rom just went down, Azside decided to click over on him. That position right at the very top of the map, on the balcony, is pivotal. Pivotal, simply for the reason is that covers B all the time, plus spawning off it like you were saying before, but more importantly, it's just a key position that really bleeds people out if they try and go for it. The whole time, anywhere Exertus are trying to go right now, there's basically a 4-man team of Frenchmen chasing them down, and they're really, really struggling to deal with the 4-on-4s right now. They're trying to, what they try and do is they try and attack on the A flag or C, trying to bait people away from B, and then try and cut in back and capture B and get the 2-man hold. Unfortunately for them, 3D Max have got them sussed out here, and at no point in this game so far has Exertus managed to get their foot down anywhere. They are being shot out completely. This is a devastating play from 3D Max right now.
Yeah, we're looking at the moment, and you can see essentially what's happening is Rom is proving himself to be a serious thorn in the side of Exertus EU and guarding that point. Now, obviously, Phantom did try to move in and at least deny Rom that particular area, but he is actually doing a fantastic job. Now, he's engaging guys on the sky bridge, he's engaging guys as they move into the B point, he's engaging them as they come from the A point on the right-hand side and from the C point on the left, which is why I tend to find that this particular placement here is so crucial. to winning this map. If you can get control of this section here that I'm outlining with the mouse, this is one of the key points, because he can float between those two areas and cause as many problems as he is now causing for Exertus. And the trouble is you've got that lock now. You can see Exertus losing that point A to 3D Max, and now they're in the process of Bambi trying to get that other point, but he's coming under a lot of fire at the moment. So Bambi is under a lot of fire. He's hiding behind the Kevlar reinforced staircase that is on the other side of B, but unfortunately he's been shot at from too many directions, and unfortunately a single man cannot stop that sheer amount of gunfire. Let's follow through Phantom's eyes. Oh, lovely little nade going in from Phantom, dropping. Oh, look at that lovely nade, bounced off the top of the walkway above Rom and literally dropped that nade right between his legs. So now Phantom's in a stronger position, but you're going to have another member of 3D Max moving over to try and intercept him. He's got to be careful, because for that reason, there we go, Phantom now has control of that area. This may possibly be a bit of a turnaround. We'll have to wait and see, but it's not looking that way as 3D Max are looking to get a full domination cap.
Yeah, they're so aggressive right now. They know they've got quite a substantial lead. They know that Exertus, the team, has to come forward right now, and because they have to come forward, they know that they're going to be leaving people behind. No, sorry, they're not going to be leaving that many people behind, and that's why 3D Max are coming forward right now. Is they've got the lead, so why not keep pushing it? They're at 165 to 44, and right now they have the 2 hold. They got the B, and they will have C right now. A is in trouble right now, but there's enough 3D Max guys on there that are at least going to delay it. It's a one-on-one situation between Jack and Hysteria, and Hysteria gets it, and that's a full domination. And the majority of Exertus are still stuck up on that area up at the balcony, which I keep talking about, which takes so much effort to try and push people out of, and through that they have possibly scuppered their last chance to regain this round.
Yeah, it's looking that way at the moment, and now you can see, obviously, we're watching through Jack's eyes as he's capturing that C point, taking cover behind the Chinese Dragon. Now, obviously...
Just look at how Exertus is starting to plan out now. They're just so... They can't push forward. They're being hemmed in. They're very, very slow moving forward here. They have no real choice because of how defensive the 3D Max guys are in these positions. And yeah, it's just 3D Max are looking really, really strong here. And I'm not sure how Exertus are going to be able to respond in the next round.
Yeah, this is the problem, because obviously with 163 tickets right now, that is an awfully difficult and very steep cliff to climb. As far as they're concerned, as Bambi tries to push in through towards the A point, gets shut down by 2 members of 3D Max. And now you can see them catching that point, and it looks like Hadrian trying to get his teammate back up.
Right, at this point, Exertus need to just hold this B and C as long as possible. Unfortunately, they just lost 3 people straight in mid, so that's basically end game there. But they could bleed a little tickets off, maybe make it not such a mountain to climb, but right now, that is easily one of the best rounds of Dawnbreaker I've ever seen played against 2 top teams here, and wow. 3D Max looking really strong. Yeah,
so 3D Max with 154 tickets to 0 on that first round of Dawnbreaker. And, obviously, look, none of Exertus actually managed to get a positive ratio. That shows, and you look at the difference in the scores, that shows the difference between the 2 teams there, is that 3D Max were literally all over them. And that's going to be a problem for them in the next round with 154 tickets to worry about. So we shall just have to wait and see how they get on with round number 2, as we shall obviously start the countdown in 45 seconds. What would you do if you were Exertus? What would be your call right now, Dogbert?
Well, Exertus do have the better spawn this time. They will get B and C straight off the bat. B is probably where you're going to see a 3D Max team probably attack, and they're probably going to go around A and then into B through the buildings, and that will give them a bit of cover. Unless they do something odd, I think they have a lot of room here. They can do pretty much whatever they need at this point in the game. They have such a significant lead. For Exertus, they have to play just absolutely solid. They got maybe take some very risky chances, but they need to get a significant hold on the A and B flags or the B and C. But B and C is so difficult to hold. They really want B and A, and they want it early as possible.
Yeah, so we're obviously watching the teams as they roll out now. Obviously, Revo and Exertus are the blues, and 3D Max are the red. Now you can see, that's interesting. Did you notice that 3D Max decided to go really hard push in towards the B point? And look at where Hysteria's is at the moment. Look at
I think
Hysteria's.
that's the key. But then again, Hadrian just came in and just absolutely wiped out the defenders. But there you go. That upper position that Phantom's holding right now is... No, that's significant. Bambi takes out Hysteria, and that is the B and C hold. All the pushes from 3D Max were shut down there. Very risky play to come through under the overpass. It's very difficult on B, and it almost paid off for them. But with Phantom being up in the area and some guy coming from the top of the building, it was able to clear them up. So, right now, the Exertus guys really just need to hold on to this B flag. But it looks like the 3D Max guys are slowly but surely trying to push forward. They're trying to deal with Phantom up on that upper balcony because it's such an annoying area that's pinning them in here. And now they're finding themselves very much in the position they were in before. But look at that spawn in the rear there, Chad. This is huge.
Wow.
This is really big. Now, Exertus need to respond to this correctly, which is not to go back to C, but to go for A. There's still one guy, Hadrian. He's near B, but I don't think he's going to be around too much longer. But they got to not panic here. They need to fight logical here. They need to reverse their defense now and expect an attack from C, and I think they might be just in time to do it.
They are now. Unfortunately, Deathmaster 4000 is going to be coming under some pressure. There we go. Looks like one of the 3D Max guys got shut down, but it looks like the A point has now been captured. But
look at A.
Yes.
Big spawn from Rom. Just before the line was set in place by the Exertus guys, there was a spawn there behind the red bus, and that was well before they had their proper positions. So this is going to completely confuse Exertus. They have no idea, but there's a 5-man behind them at A. But if Hadouken can hold on longer here, no, he gets taken down, and that is A going over to the French, and this is not looking good for Exertus right now.
Yeah, it isn't. I mean, obviously we've got the lead is definitely on, and Phantom doing a fantastic job, except I noticed, he just gets drilled. He could not hold off those 2 men for long enough. He was doing a fantastic job, and he was actually in with the Ace 23 on this occasion. So we've got Hysteria's in there now, and the roaming position. Rom then moves in towards the B point, and they've got the A and B hold against Exertus now. The question is, what is Exertus actually going to do? So we're following through the eyes of Hadouken as he is making his way up towards the A point. He's going to go in for a sneaky little grab if he can, chucking out the nade just to make one of his enemy members. There we go, trying to get him to run to one side. His enemy gets taken down, and now he can move in towards that point, capturing it together with Bambi. So looks like the A and the C hold was about to actually come to fruition as Phantom then moves in along with Revo into that C point to try and take down 2 members of 3D Max as the nades come flying in. But no, looks like they've spawned a 3rd guy, and it looks like he's going to be in trouble. Revo unfortunately wasn't able to reload in time, but fortunately for them, Phantom was able to get everybody back up and running and wipe out the remaining members of that team. So you can see now, Revo gets taken down.
Big plays in the middle by Deathmaster, aka Jack Frags, really picking up the kill there, really actually holding on to the B, giving them time, and that's a full domination cap. They need to recycle though, they need to get back to B. B is the flag they need, and A is another one that's been threatened, and Rom just goes through 2 members of Exertus and captures A, and this is exactly the position Exertus do not want to be in. They do not want to be left out at C with B and A being captured. They need to push through really quick here. They need to get rid of Hadrian, they need to get through to B, and they need to capture it now. They do not have this many tickets to play with. They need that B flag, and they need it quick.
Yeah, that's definitely the way at the moment, and you can see now, looks like that's exactly what they're focusing on. So Bambi obviously watching over to the right, looking for the enemy, but there was obviously another enemy sneaking in on the right-hand side. It's Rom, of course, but Rom gets shut down very quickly indeed. I think now if you look up on the little outcropping on the right hand side, you've now got a combination of Phantom and now Deathmaster. So Jack moving in, looks like he's engaging Hysterias as he pushes in. He wasn't able to get the res in time, and now you can see him moving in towards the B point. So it looks like they're trying to hold that point. Now you're going to have Bambi and Phantom who are going to start pushing against EdOU to try and get that C point, and you've also got Deathmaster 4000 moving in towards the next point.
That is a very fortunate spawn for 3D Max right over at A, so it's a 3-on-2 right now, 2-on-1 right now. Only Deathmaster left alive, and he goes down, and that was a spawn right on top of them. But that is a miniature full domination cap from the Exertus lineup, and they are responding really well in this round.
Hadoukens jumps round the corner, runs into 3 people, manages to take out 1, seriously damaged the 2nd, but unfortunately could not take down all 3. Obviously, a tall order there for the Welsh Wizard, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get it finished off there. But now you can see more fire coming into the B point. The B point in the process of being pushed down on. We're now looking at Pater moving in on Bambi as Bambi turns and drills him. Fantastic shot from Bambi there. And now you can see the B point currently in the control of Exertus and the C point in the control of about to be 3D Max, as they've literally had a very nice spawn there.
But so has Exertus, as Revo is near A. Now, this is why the B and C hold is not so easy. That spawn on top of C is quite regular. But as you've seen, 3D's Max response to this is pretty much to rush for both A and B. And as long as one of them's alive, we'll be able to spawn on it. Exertus are sending a two-man squad out to C. They'll get the C flag, but they will lose A. Now, the A flag is the one that's the problem here, because if someone can firm up their defenses and hold B and A, it's such a difficult one to break out of, and this is the reason why it was so difficult. And with only one ticket remaining, Chad, I don't see them being able to do anything here. No. They need to hold on tight, and that is it. It will be 3D Max going forward. Unfortunate for the Exertus guys. They really picked it up near the end there, but
they did
unfortunate spawns.
Yeah, I think also that I have to say they did a fantastic job in the second round. I don't think they brought their A game in the first round, unfortunately, which is a real shame. And as a result of that, Exertus will not go through to the next round. 3D Max ran away with the first round, and Exertus actually kind of got a hold onto the second round, but unfortunately it was too little too late, which is a real shame. So you can see now, obviously, 3D Max continue to push that point, but as you say, numerically impossible for Exertus to win at this stage. However, that's not going to stop them fighting it out as best they can, as 3D Max are moving in towards the A point, and you've obviously got Phantom, who's now moving down towards the C point, and he's back in, looks like, possibly, yeah, he's got his M16 out again as well, so he's enjoying his M16, and he's looking to capture that point back as well. So it looks like points are going to change around. There we go, the bleed back onto Exertus, and yeah, there's not really much else to say there. What was the problem, really? I mean, obviously, aside from the difference in points in the first round, what was it that really caused the problem for Exertus in that first round, Dogbert?
Well, what we didn't get to see at the very beginning is exactly how the first flag switching went up and down. So we didn't exactly see which team took B originally, but I assume pretty much how it went down is that 3D Max were playing the more favoured side. They captured B, they probably lost C, but they probably gained A quite early, and then they held a B and A hold. And as soon as you got that B and A hold, and if your lines are set up correctly, you're basically looking at a possible 30 to 50 tickets just from that alone. And that is pretty much what we saw. And from then on out, Exertus were really just behind the whole time, and they just couldn't get back into the game. And you got to realise, with that upper balcony and the B and A, it's really, really difficult to break through, because anytime you throw enough people forward to try and capture the A or B flag, you'll see your rear flag is instantly open, and more importantly, anyone you do kill could, because you're on the attack, will likely spawn on your undefended flag. And from then on out, as soon as you have a lead like that, which 3D Max have, you don't have to play the fragging game. You can just play the flag hopping game, because you've already got the bleed, you've already got the lead, and you just got to keep it going.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, I think obviously from the point of view of that first round, I think Rom was quite a key player in their victory for that first round, because of the problems that he caused to Exertus over there on that outcropping. And the amount of problems and the amount of times that Exertus had to actually send multiple people up to that area to try and clear him out, and unfortunately they got shut down. And, you know, those are tickets that they could ill afford, but a nice shutdown there from Deathmaster 4000 at the A point. Yeah. And that was really what caused them, I would say, a large majority of the problems was Rom in that little spot.
There was a moment where Exertus were literally about to set up their hold from the upper balcony to B to A, but the spawn out on the far right on that road at A completely threw them off. They didn't know that the entire enemy team had literally spawned behind them. They were waiting for a push to come onto B from C, and as soon as they find 5 people coming into the A flag and then pushing from behind them, it just threw them off completely. Up until that point, they had that game. They had stabilised what would have been a very, very difficult one to come back from, and with that spawn right on that side, because they hadn't set up their position they were literally seconds away from putting the position where they wouldn't have been able to spawn behind them. The split second for not being in the right position gave the 3D Max guys to able to break through at A with that spawn, and it really, really threw Exertus off. And from then, they really haven't recovered.
Yeah, unfortunately that seems to be the case, and now obviously we're just looking to see what's going on as they're obviously playing out the final tickets of this particular round, and you can see the layout here from Exertus was exactly the kind of layout that they wanted to have at the start, and you can see that sort of barrier between A and B to force them back from C. So yeah, very unfortunate as far as those guys were concerned. So we just
but the first round, 3D Max were really, really just fragging heavy, just doing everything correctly. There was nothing about the 3D Max in the first round that had any problems at all. Second round felt really, it was much more competitive. As Exertus really were coming forward with a lot better coordination, and you got to remember, a lot of these guys are coming off a holiday, but the 3D Max guys just seemed so much more on it at the time, and with a lead like that, it's so difficult to come back from. 154 tickets in the first round. I mean, the fact that up until the point where they managed to lose the A and get shut out at B, they were on 190 tickets. And that was in the first 3 minutes of play, and they'd already knocked 3D Max down 70 tickets. So they were off to a great start, but they just couldn't keep it together, and 3D Max were able to claw back into it. Unfortunate for the Exertus guys, but 3D Max is one of these teams that is definitely up and coming. They're very, very well established in the French scene, and they're just very, very dangerous.
They are indeed. They are indeed. You never discount the French as a possibility for giving you trouble. That's for damn sure. As I have found out in my Total War campaigns on more than one occasion, never discount the French ever. So as you can see here, Bambi and Hadouken's defending that B point, and you're obviously seeing the final guys. There we go. 58 tickets in favour of Exertus for that second round. So 154 to 58 will be the final score. And there we go, a good display by 3D Max. Commiserations to Exertus. And I have to say, I think 3D Max should be very pleased with their performance on that particular map.
Especially in the first round, they absolutely dominated Exertus. Straight out of the gate by the looks of it. And really, Exertus really struggled in the first round. And 3D Max were just completely all over them. Responding correctly to spawns, just being in the right place, right time. Just rotating is very important, and especially something we've seen a few times. 3D Max did very well in the first round, not so much in the second. But Exertus really, when it was quite evident that they were being pressured on certain flags, they would kind of go to defend them and kind of splinter off to try and go for the other flags. It's okay to split yourself up like that. It's just, at the same time, when you've already got the B flag, you just need to finish off that A, and then you can get your hold. That's what they wanted the whole time, and unfortunately, it just didn't go their way. In the first round, though, oh man, 3D Max were just getting the kills. 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, just they won all the small fights that led to a very, very large ticket deficit.